What's up you guys? Welcome to another Java tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about objects and classes. And if you're saying, okay Mo, what the heck is an object and what the heck is a class and what's the difference between them? So if you don't know what's the difference and you don't know what an object and what a class is, just tap along with me and I promise you by the end of this tutorial you're going to learn a very important concept in Java programming language. In the Java programming language. I think I said it right. All right. So far, guys, we've been building everything in our main method right here, but we haven't actually done anything outside of our main method. And in other words, we haven't really created another class and accessed it and did a bunch of cool stuff to it. So today we're going to learn about that. So go ahead right here and right click and create new Java class. And go ahead and name that counter. And guys, the first tip that I want to tell you about, every time you create a class, it has to be a capital letter. I mean, it doesn't have to be a capital letter, but it's a good programming habit. So go ahead and click enter, and as you guys can see, this beautiful, awesome editor created everything for me. I mean, what can I say? It's an awesome editor. So to create a class, all you gotta do is specify if it's public or private. And in this case, it's a public class. And you gotta type in class because, I mean, you are creating a class. And here is basically the name of the class. And in this case, it's counter. And as you guys, I don't know if I said this in previous tutorials, but the counter, the name of the class, must be identical to the name of the file. So counter, counter. Simple enough. Let's go ahead and type in private, integer, and count. And if you're saying, okay Mo, what the heck is private? Like every time we declared a variable before, we just used int count. Why are you saying private? Well, just type along with me and I promise you will get it. Let's go ahead and type in public void, and let's go ahead and name this add1. And it's not going to take any parameters. And let's go ahead and use count, and let's add 1 to it. And let's create another method here, and let's type in public. Why did it took me so long to say public? Public. All right, public and void, and what's the name of it? Get count. And let's go ahead and type in system out println, and what we want to print, count is now, and let's do that. So what this method is going to do is basically add 1 to count, and what this method is going to do is just print count out. Like, it's so simple, it's so basic, but it's really good for demonstration. So what the heck is private? What the heck is public? I don't understand. All right, you guys can understand this right now. So as you guys already know that this is the class name. This here right here is the class name. But I will tell you right now what's the difference between a class name and an object. So every time you want to access the methods of a class, you create an object from this class. And to create an object from any class, all you got to do is this. Type in the name of the class, which is in this case is counter, and whatever you want the object to be called. In my case, let's just go ahead and type in object counter for simplicity. And go ahead and type in new counter. And what this line of code means, hey Java, I'm creating an object from the counter class. So this is the name of the class, and this is an object from this class. And if you're saying, okay Mo, why are you creating an object from this class? Well, the reason why, I can't think of any way that you can access a class without creating an object for it. So every time you want to access the class methods, you gotta create an object from this class. Simple enough. And let's go ahead and use the methods within the counter class. So let's go ahead and type in object counter dot add 1. And let's do that 1, 2, 3 times. And let's go ahead and type in object counter dot get count. And let's go ahead and run this. And as you guys can see, it says count is now 4. And what happened is basically this. When we created an object from the counter class, Java allowed us to access the methods within the counter class right here. And so the other thing that I want to tell you guys is this. You're saying, okay, what's the difference between private, public? I don't understand that. Explain. Well, let's go ahead and change this to private, and look what happens. Java is automatically saying, hey, okay, I know that you created an object from the counter class, but who gave you the authority to access a private method? I mean, I didn't give you authority. Who do you think you are? So every time you create a private method, you, the programmer, is the only one who's going to access it within the class. Other people cannot access it. When they create an object from your class, if it's private, they can't access it. So if you want other people to access your method, this should be public. And Java is saying, okay, now we're good. If it's public, okay, we're good. So that implies also to the variables. If you change this to public, other people will be able to access it. If it's private, nobody will be able to access it. And normally, most of the time, I mean, your variables should be private because you don't want anyone to play with your variables. I mean, imagine if you're creating a bank account or something. You don't want people to access, your money or something like that. All right, that was an extreme example. So basically, we just covered what an object is and what a class is, and also how you can create an object from a class and access its methods. So, I mean, this is a really important thing about Java programming language. So if you guys understood this tutorial and got it, you're ready to move on, man. I'll see you in next tutorial. Actually, it's getting pretty late. I gotta go to bed. So I'll see you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.